Eagles clearly the best team in the NFL.
Absolutely, but number one in the NFL.
One team in all of the National Football League are the Philadelphia Eagles.
Jalen Hurts seemed to be unstoppable. This team is fucking awesome to watch, and Coach Sirianni is maybe the reason why for building this culture in Philly that we all mocked at one point because the way he was doing it was a little bit different than we had heard in the past. Seems like they've got teams. They got a team and a bunch of players that kind of fit their mold, and that Eagles squad might be on a fucking terror in the NFC.
Today, and we know the standard. We know the standard. We talk about the standard. We preach the standard. We practice the standard this whole entire time leading up to this game. So let's continue to challenge ourselves to do it. We know that still wasn't enough today. We know we got that feeling in our guts right now. We know we feeling that shit not right. So let's fix it because it's something that we can control. We control it. Things I can control. That's how you get better. That's how you get better. That's how you take steps. That's how you take steps.
As of recording this video right now, the Philadelphia Eagles are the only undefeated team in the NFL right now. During this offseason, Howie Roseman brought in a whole bunch of talent. He brought in A.J. Brown. He brought back Fletcher Cox. He even added James Bradbury and Chauncey Gardner-Johnson and Marcus Epps. These are all moves that pivoted the Philadelphia Eagles into one direction. That one direction being, can Jalen Hurts be the future of the Philadelphia Eagles? This isn't the first time Jalen Hurts has been faced with doubt or fear or even anybody hating on him. This even goes back to his high school days. Jalen Alexander Hurts was born on August 7, 1998 in Channelview, Texas, attending Channelview High School. He played football at Channelview High, where his father, Avrion Hurts, coached. Hurts would prove himself as a star on the gridiron, passing for over 2,000 yards and rushing for over 1,000 with 51 touchdowns as a senior. Other than football, Jalen competed in powerlifting, being able to squat 500 pounds only in high school. And obviously, we all know this man is very strong from this clip from Oklahoma of him squatting 600 pounds. Nevertheless, out of high school, Jalen was heavily recruited, and a school that was heavily recruiting him was Texas A&M because he was from Texas. But at the end of the day, Jalen did end up signing to the University of Alabama with Nick Saban. In Jalen's first year alone, he would be a true freshman quarterback in Alabama. This is unheard of in Alabama. There's only been two in the history of Alabama, and the first one under Nick Saban. So Hurts would go on the path for 2,780 yards and 23 touchdowns through the air, and then along with 954 yards running and 13 touchdowns. His rushing yardage broke the Alabama single-season record by over 150 yards. This would lead the Alabama Crimson Tide to a national championship game against the Clemson Tigers, where they would go on to lose in the game 35-31. This is where Jalen Hurts got most of his critique from in the national championship game, because leading up to the national championship game, Alabama was rolling on the roll. They ended up being 13-0 until they got to the national championship game and met the Clemson Tigers, which, honestly, what they did, they made Jalen Hurts pass as a passer, which he wasn't ready yet for in the big highlights. So through the offseason, Hurts' work ethic and improvement as a quarterback would lead to another great regular season at Alabama signal caller. Hurts would accumulate over 2,000 yards in his first 15 games, but with a notable increase of his efficiency, boasting a 150.2 passer rating, 11 points higher than his freshman campaign. This increase in efficiency would be paired with a somewhat ridiculous 17-1 TD interception ratio. Even though Hurts had a good season as a freshman running the football, he had an even better season running the football as a sophomore. On the ground, he had 800-plus rushing yards and 8 touchdowns. Hurts would again lead the Tide to a college football playoffs with a record of 11-1 in the regular season. He would start these playoffs with a promising win against last year's national championship, the Clemson Tigers, with a 24-16 win. After that playoff game, the Crimson Tide were scheduled to face the Georgia Bulldogs in the national championship game. And obviously, I think most people know the story of what happened after that. Jalen Hurts did not play very well in the first half, so Nick Saban made an adjustment, and he put the current freshman Tua, we're going to just say Tua, into the game. So he put Tua into the game, and I'm going to let y'all watch the clip of what happened.
Tagovailoa trying to make up for it. Fires to the end zone. Touchdown! Alabama wins!
Obviously, Jalen Hurts probably should have been happy that his team had won, but obviously he got his spot taken and his backup fulfilled the role better than he did. So obviously there was some confusion with that, and honestly, Jalen Hurts had hit his adversity. And after the game, he had a interview with the reporter, and he He gave great answers, and he acted like a professional in his job. But obviously, he's a college kid. And later on, we found out that him and his mom and his dad, they were sitting in a hotel room. He was crying, and he was just saying, what do I do? And his dad basically said, we got to work, and we got to get better. And that's what Jalen Hurts ended up doing. Jalen Hurts, it would be a lot of speculation on what he would do after that, but he ended up staying at Alabama, and he ended up staying that whole year and developing as a pocket person and being a backup. But something unexpected happened that same year that would twist the fates in Jalen Hurts' way.
Just inside the 16, quarterback draw, Jalen Hurts, touchdown!
So pretty much the backup behind this story is basically Tua, you know what I'm going to call him. Tua got hurt basically in the game, and Jalen Hurts came in, and it was just so hypocritical that it was against the same team in Georgia in the SEC championship. And Alabama would go on to win because of Jalen Hurts and his play. After this championship game, Alabama will go on to play Oklahoma, and they will end up beating them 45-34 in the first round of college football playoffs. And after that, eventually they will play Clemson and end up losing 16-44. While most speculated what would happen with Jalen, I think everybody kind of knew what was going to happen with Jalen. I'm pretty sure everybody thought he was going to transfer out, which in my opinion, was the right move to move out, go find what he needed to do. And that's exactly what Jalen Hurts did. He went to go find a home that was actually close to home. This place had 2 back-to-back Heisman Trophy candidate winners, and they also were in the same position Jalen were. They were transfers walking on, and obviously this place I'm talking about is the University of Oklahoma. Obviously, Jalen going back home, I think he had a lot of fun doing that, and honestly, you can kind of tell by his stats, the man went off his senior year with Oklahoma. Hurts would literally smash his doubters and haters with his freaking stats this season. He had 32 touchdowns and 8 interceptions, and he threw for 3,851 yards as a passer. Not only to add, Hurts also added 18 touchdowns on the ground and 1,200 yards as a runner. Needless to say, Hurts showed up big time in the senior year at Oklahoma. He led the Sooners to an 11-1 record when they only lost to Baylor that year. And they actually beat Baylor in the Big 12 championship, leading the Sooners to the college football playoff berth. After the Big 12 game, the Oklahoma Sooners, they ended up facing the LSU Tigers in 2019, and they ended up losing. But there's no shame in losing to the LSU Tigers because literally everybody lost to LSU Tigers that year, and they were pretty good that year, honestly. But after that, Jalen Hurts obviously was a senior, so he was graduating. He was going in the 2020 draft. And I'll let y'all guys watch the clip of him getting drafted.
We have the 53rd pick in the 2020 NFL Draft. The Philadelphia Eagles select Jalen Hurts, quarterback, Oklahoma.
Well, it just got interesting, ladies and gentlemen.
Now that it's been 2 years that the Eagles have drafted Jalen Hurts, I'm pretty sure they're happy on their investment right now because Jalen Hurts is cashing in the NFL and he's doing great things. And he has NFL greats like Michael Irvin saying great things about him like this.
I get chills thinking about it. He said, I said to all my playmakers, we cannot just feel the temperature in the room. We must be the thermometer. Oh, snap. Oh, do y'all get how great that is? Oh, snap. All of my playmakers. We can't just receive what's going on in the game. We gonna set the tone every Sunday out here. And then they put that damn tape on every time one of them make a play. I saw Devontae Smith jumping up, taking balls down like he was the 6'5" Arthur Warren Brown. I said, oh God, this is ugly. This is ugly. What is going on? This is... And that quote, we cannot just feel the temperature in the room, we must be the thermometer. Something like that on top of them capes, I'm sorry, somebody better do something about what I'm seeing. That's all I'm saying.
Well, and it's not even Michael Irvin just reacting like that. It's many people acting like that with Jalen Hurts and him being just having a great MVP season right now, and it's amazing to see. And it's just amazing to see a guy like Jalen Hurts get this opportunity and to be thriving in this situation. Because I think what I want you guys to get out from this video is what Jalen Hurts pushes all the time. Control what you can control. And, I mean, this is a great video just to see, like, if you control what you can control, you'll be fine. Because that's what Jalen Hurts did, essentially. He literally controlled what he could control. He couldn't control what the media said about him. He couldn't control anything about that. But he did. He controlled what he can control, and he got better as a passer. He's gotten better as a runner. He's just gotten better in every aspect of his football game. And guys, I think that's gonna wrap up this video. I hope you guys like this type of video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and thank you guys for watching the Art of Control, a Jalen Hurts story. Peace, guys.
To the team, you know, we go out there. You look yourself in the mirror as a man, and you say, "Am I controlling the things that I can control?" And if you can do that, that's how you get better. That's how you take steps, because that's a kind of a piece of accountability. But it's also the first step in the right direction to growth, controlling the things you can.